Hello everyone and welcome to the Stay Ballsy Intergalactic Video Network. This is JohnRamboPresents the show. My name is John, and I am joined by the man that will gladly punch your holes. Ladies and gentlemen, OJ is here.
Hello, I say to you.
How's it going, sir?
It's going all right. Glad to be here, having a good day. This is making it better.
Are you excited for today's show?
Oh, of course I am.
So as we begin this week, let's first touch upon last week a little bit. I don't know about you, I was extremely satisfied and pleased with the show last week. It's packed with content. Not just content, but good content.
Overflowing, I'd say.
It was actually good content this time. Featuring several musical performances, a very good interview with the very entertaining Allison Packard.
And talented.
Entertaining and talented, you say, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to, again, thank her for coming on. My favorite parts of the interview being when all three of us sang the Rescue Rangers theme in unison.
That was really good. That was pretty amazing.
I like when she questioned how we have so many followers, to which I had no real idea how to respond to that. And after we were done recording, we actually spoke to her for a little while off the air. And I said, like, hey, we have this new series that is just coming out. You know, being someone that actually works in the industry, I'd be happy if, to hear your thoughts on it and all that. So she's like, yeah, sure, how many people are on your production staff? So I'm like, no, it's not like that, It's not exactly like that. Because I'm sure that's like conversations she has all the time, being in LA and,
yeah.
Who's on your production? Who's your production staff? And it's like, no, it's not like that. But
this is New York.
Cool. Exactly. Well, kinda.
Kinda.
This is Stanford. We'll get to that. So, she actually performed an original song last week entitled Less Than 3. It was great.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our first live musical performance on the show. So inspired by that event, this is what I would like to do. I would like to have musical guests appear on the show. So if you'd like to perform your music on the show, please contact us at stayballsy@gmail.com. And attach a sample of your musical skills in like an MP3, something I can listen to, and then we'll figure something out from there. What do you think about this?
I think that is a wonderful idea.
Are you going to try out for the show by needing an MP3 from you?
You don't tempt me.
You'll have like a fake name, and I'll just be like, that's you. It's obviously OJ. That'd be pretty funny.
I'm J.O.
I think what we'll do, it'll work kind of like Tonight Show style. So, like, we'll do the normal show and, like, our weekly interview. And then at the very end, we'll bring you on, and you can play your song, preferably, original tune. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll do, like, a quick interview where you can plug your band, your Twitter, like, whatever you got going on, like your event dates or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And whatever you want to plug. And I think that'd be a nice addition to things. So, again, if you'd like to perform music on the air, for the lovely Ramborgia audience, send me a message, stayballsy@gmail.com, and we can figure something out. So, today on the show, we're going to be talking about games, we're going to be talking about movies. Then for the main event, we'll be discussing in great detail the explosive episode that was released on Monday. Schnoz-man, what was that?
Well, when you said explosive, the ending of the last episode, I think, was pretty explosive.
Right, it's a reference.
In the toilet.
Schnoz-man and HolePunch, the Justice League episode 2 is here, is upon us. People are going insane with joy. It has changed the lives of many. Well, not really exactly, but it seems like people do dig it, as far as I can tell. Most of the comments were about other stuff, but, I digress, whatever.
So did they.
Yeah. So, we'll be getting into it hot and heavy. We'll be getting into Schnoz-man, HolePunch hot and heavy. And you'll actually be joined today by the man that stole the show in episode 2. From RespectThePact, the great Raposa himself, Andre will be on the show later today.
Wonderful.
We're excited about this.
Yes. He's
You and I
hilarious.
have a very good thing going, man. Very good chemistry going there.
Yeah, I think it's working pretty well.
Did you enjoy working with Andre?
Yeah, definitely.
You weren't really insulted because you didn't even know what he was saying to you.
Some of the words were cognates. I could tell a couple, but the majority of it, I had to wait for that comment from our faithful reader who translated it for us.
Well, I'm going to have him. We're going to ask him exactly what he was saying to you and if he really meant it or not. That's where we're going to go later.
If he meant it, thanks.
You might have really meant it. I don't know. So, as everyone knows by now, we've been offering merchandise at geekfiregifts.com/shop. And the fine Ramborgia that have picked up the official show shirt have been sending in their pictures of themselves wearing the shirts. They're very beautiful people. Did you notice how beautiful? Did you know that our audience was that beautiful?
I couldn't believe it, but it nearly blinded me with beauty.
It's true, right?
Yes.
And many have actually sent in reviews of their purchase. So we will now read these reviews for everyone to hear. This is their honest testimonials about their product. So OJ, take it away, sir.
Okay. This one is from our good friend Cyber Demon.
Cyber Demon.
Yeah. The show will live forever in this high-quality T-shirt. I opened my package with glee and awe as I feasted my eyes upon this beautiful work of art. After wearing this shirt for a while in the world, I must say the following. It's comfy. Other than that, it's just a T-shirt. But it's the ballsiest T-shirt around.
Great review. Kind of like a Billy Mays thing going there at first.
I didn't know how far to take it, so I dialed it back a bit.
Well, it's kind of how it was written. So
yeah, it was wonderful. Very clever, Cyber Demon. I like it.
I don't fault you for your decision there. Next one's by Honored Villager. Honored Villager, of course, is a great man. He supplied us pretty much most of the show themes. He's done a good portion of them, and he has been featured in Schnoz-man HolePunch episode 1. He created the porn music.
Very honorable spot right there.
Which I don't think he actually intended to be porn music. I think he was kind of like taken aback that I used it as porn music. But I hope he didn't take it the wrong way. It's a great song. So, all right, go ahead.
The show T-shirt is a solid purchase indeed. I was unsure because I wanted a medium, but large fits very well. Brings out the detail in the logo that Hazard created. Very durable build. Is black. I believe the shirt has infected me.
Yes, it's much like the Venom symbiote. It can infect you, the shirt. And it gives you abilities. It gives you the Venom abilities. And yeah, like I was saying, like a lot of people were saying I want medium, but I wear the large. I'm not that big, right?
Yeah.
So he says it too. It'll probably fit. But in any case, there's not many shirts left, so.
Yeah, we've got, I think, 9 or 10 remaining.
There's a couple left. Let's continue here.
Okay. This quote is from Matt. The only Matt ever. What's up, John and OJ? I've been a fan for a long time, ever since the HD Remix videos on DSP's old channel, and I just wanted to say I'm very impressed with the evolution of your channel and that the show is easily the best part of the week for me. I wasn't exactly sure if I was actually going to wear the shirt, or if I was going to end up keeping it as a collectible, but as you can tell, I decided to use it as a tool to help spread the digital gonorrhea. You guys really need to put out a Schnoz-man t-shirt. I've seen it mentioned a few times, and I would gladly purchase one the first chance I got. If you ever find yourselves in Illinois, I'd like to be able to meet you guys and show my appreciation for the many hours of entertainment by buying food or something. I think the facial hair / black hat and the show t-shirt combo should be introduced as the male Ramborgia uniform because I know it attracts all the ladies. It's like the Axe commercials except not fake at all. Thanks again, guys, and stay ballsy, my friends.
The facial hair, black hat, and show shirt is not only the male uniform, it's also the female uniform. I don't know if people knew that or not. But Matt sent me his picture. I'm going to put all three of these guys sent me their picture. I'm going to put them in there on the slideshow.
Nice.
But Matt looks like a badass in his picture. He's going to be the Ramborgia bodyguard, I think.
Ramborgia Enforcer?
He's going to be the enforcer. Yeah, that's his job. Everyone has a job in the civilization, so that's going to be his job. And I've actually been to Chicago many times. I really like it there, so perhaps we will cross paths. The Schnoz-man shirt? Good possibility, right?
Yeah.
At some point.
I wouldn't put it past us.
I wouldn't bet against it. Say
no.
That. So, I also want to take this time and thank some people. I just knocked my microphone over. I want to thank Mark 2-Bit. Mark 2-Bit, he made the Schnoz-man and HolePunch logo that you actually saw in the intro of episode 2. Did you notice that?
Pretty cool beans, man.
And you can find him at youtube.com/Mark2Bit. So it's Mark, the number 2, and then BIT. Check that out.
He's a really good contributor.
Oh, yeah, he's great. He sent me a ton of stuff. So every week he sends me more great stuff. I want to thank Vossel. He made me a banner for my channel, which everyone should go and take a look at right now. It's pretty awesome. I kept driving him crazy because he would make it. I kept asking for like these little changes like every time he gave me another version. But he kept working with me, and then he did a great job, and now it looks perfect. So, everyone go check it out.
Thank you,
and you
sir.
can find him on Twitter at elvossil. So ELVOSSIL. Go check that out. So I want to talk about a couple things this week. And you have like a story to tell us or something. I don't know what's going on with you.
Dopey little story.
All right, we'll get there. So first I want to talk about, I picked up a couple games this week. First one I got, Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
I picked that up too.
Did you get it?
Yeah, man. I played it up until the show.
Oh, all right, we'll get your thoughts on it too then.
Oh, goody.
Well, the tagline for this game that they've been using is the two greatest fighting game franchises face off for the first time, right? I think Virtua Fighter might have something to say about that.
Well, not to mention that there's already been Namco cross Capcom.
It's not really a fighting game, though.
True, but it still happened.
Virtua Fighter is considered, like, in Japan, that's considered, like, the best franchise. So,
huh. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't really catch on in the U.S. That well.
No. Although
it's very deep and very hardcore. So that's probably why.
It was pretty funny. There was a Virtua Fighter 1 cabinet at one of my favorite diners here in Norwalk up until maybe a few months ago. Very sad to see it go.
You would go there just to play it. That's been on the console for a long time, right? You don't have to go to a diner to play it.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Yeah, but then I get their chocolate chip pancakes. Anyway.
So you would use that as an excuse to get pancakes. I don't even want to talk about this. But anyway, the first thing that hits you when you put the game in, and you can tell me if you felt the same way, it's kind of like, oh, it's Street Fighter 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because the menus are basically the same.
Yeah.
And the music sounds like it could be like the rejected title screen music from Super Street Fighter 4.
I agree.
And the graphics are the same. It's that same, like, odd Toy Story-looking character design from Street Fighter 4.
We are pure muscle. Everyone all bulked up.
Yeah, that's classic Capcom because they always kind of took that approach. They used the same sprites for like 10 years during one stretch at one point, right?
Yeah, I mean...
CVS 2.
Yeah, just look at Morgan in CVS 2.
CVS 2 is a complete cut and paste job. Like, they just cut sprites from other games.
Yeah, they're just like, we're not even going to try making it look uniform.
Yeah, I don't know. It's amazing that their strategy hasn't changed in 20 years. Because even like 20 years ago, it was like their strategy was to basically release a bunch of versions of the same game until the market is completely sucked dry. And that's what they're doing again. And it's even worse now because of DLC.
Ugh.
So, at first it reminds you of Street Fighter 4, but once you actually get into it and start playing the game, there's a lot of new stuff in there. There's a lot of new content in there.
Yeah, like the fight. Like I went through the training for about 15 minutes to see what the new features were.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It does add. It actually added a surprising amount of depth to the game, at least on an initial playthrough.
Like I never really played Tekken, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of it from going to tournaments over the years, and I know a lot of the characters as well. But now they're in this world, and it's like having a whole new cast of characters to mess with now.
Yeah.
And I really dig that. It's one thing I really enjoy about it. And the thing that I really like about these games is I don't even really play a lot like against other people anymore.
Oh.
I just don't really have the time to do it. But I'll do like the challenge modes. I really like.
Yeah.
Like doing all the combos and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been enjoying that because I've been picking the Tekken guys. And it's like a whole new thing. It's like a whole new cast of characters. And I haven't even picked the Street Fighter characters at all yet.
I get the feeling if you limit yourself to the Street Fighter characters, you're cutting out so much of the game because you've basically got a pretty good fighting system with characters that and then this entire set of new people.
I'm all about the new stuff. That's why
I mean,
it's more interesting to me. So I think there is a lot of new stuff in there, and I don't know. I'll play it some more and see. I'm probably not gonna get too deep into it, but
yeah. I mean, I had
those days are kind of like in the rearview mirror for me. But I know a lot of people are angry because it turns out there's all these DLC characters that are on the disc. People found out they're on the disc already.
Yeah.
And you obviously can't access them until you buy them, right?
Is Dan DLC?
I don't know. I don't even know, man. I'm like so out of the loop. I probably should have done some research if we were going to talk about it on a show.
Well, we can talk about our experiences unsullied by what the internet thinks.
Exactly. So my answer to that, people are mad about the DLC stuff. Like, my answer to that is just don't buy them. You know? The best way to send a message that you won't stand for these shenanigans anymore is to not, let them have your money. So, it doesn't really bother me because I'm not going to buy them, so.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy... I just can't bring myself to buy DLC for games like that. Like, if it's just, get this new character. Although I am sorely tempted to do it for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I haven't forced myself to do it. Why? Because I want all the characters. It's hard not to. Like, I'm fighting it.
There's Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right?
Yes.
I don't think you have to buy characters for that.
Well, you know what I mean, right? Like,
I understand
before it came out, I was just like... Ugh. Like, when I play League, I refuse to buy any items or characters in League of Legends with real money.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to say, like, I don't want to, don't do this to me anymore. If people buy them like crazy, then they're going to, okay, well, we can get away with this. So I can get away with that? Sure, I'll do it again. I'll make them do it again. So I also got the mighty Mass Effect 3.
Oh, boy.
Picked it up at Play and Trade on North Street in Danbury. There's now 2 Play and Trades in Danbury.
Wow.
In Danbury, Connecticut. There's 2 Play and Trades.
They're multiplying.
So the North Street's where I go. Shoutouts to Kyle and Nick over there. And I pre-ordered it so I get an exclusive weapon. I got this awesome Mass Effect 3 shirt to wear while I shoot people in the face with the weapon. And I think next week I'll actually really get into my thoughts and review of Mass Effect 3. Mainly because I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
And it's long, man.
That's crazy long. So, I did start it off. I loaded my Mass Effect 2 stuff. My entire crew survived in that game. I'm ready to roll out.
What?
I just need a chance to play. Oh, yeah, you could lose, like, your entire
No, I'm
crew.
impressed that no one died.
Well, I had to play it a few times to get to that point. That's where we're at now. But I just need a chance to play it, so I think when we're done with the show, I will play tonight. So let's get this over with so I can play.
In that case, I will continue talking for a long, long time.
So what exactly is the story you want to tell me? I heard you got some type of injury to yourself.
Nothing big. It's just something stupid.
All right, well, tell us the story.
All right, I'll go quickly as I can.
Okay.
So my friend Matt was coming in from Boston to visit my friend Pete, and he needed to stay at my place Monday night. Tuesday night. So he comes over, and he and I both play Warhammer. So we set everything up, and we start playing the game, and we ordered food. We get the food, I put it over in the other side of the room so I don't put it near the table where we're playing because it gets everything dirty. And I step on something. And I could swear I stepped on a piece of glass or something. I'm like, ow, that kind of hurt. I was like, whatever, and I ignore it. And so we start playing Warhammer, and every once in a while I move around, I'm like, ow, that kind of hurts a little bit. Dang, that must have been a sharp piece of glass or whatever it was.
Did you look at like what it was?
No.
You just, something stabbed me, I'm just going to keep going.
I was wearing black socks. I didn't see anything. I glanced at it and was like, okay, I'm fine, whatever.
All right.
So we keep playing, and the game lasts about 5 hours. So we play from about 7 until 12:30.
That's an incredible waste of time.
Thanks. I had fun. Anyway, so we're done. I'm like, okay, time to go to bed. I got to go to sleep. I got work in the morning, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, my foot still feels funny. So I take my sock off and I look at it, and there's this little black line going into my foot. Like, oh, are you kidding me? It's a splinter, and it's been wedged into the the flat part of my foot.
Wow.
Like, oh, no.
It came from your floor?
Yeah, it came from my floor. I got hardwood floor. There's a piece of floor that I guess had a splinter coming out.
Wow.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been because I was throwing all kinds of things in your floor on Sunday. When we were filming.
It's possible. It's possible this is your fault.
Just destroying the house.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do now? So I get a flashlight. I'm like, hey, Matt, can you look at my foot? He's like, okay. It's like, yeah, that's a splinter. Okay, bye. I'm like, thanks. Well, no, he wasn't. Anyway. So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do now? And I get tweezers, and I can't get it out. The thing's like wedged in there. What am I supposed to do?
You have to soak the body part.
Yeah, I checked Google, and Google's like, yeah, you can soak it. Oh, but it might expand and then get bad. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking around. They're like, then I find instructions. Take a knife, cut your foot a little bit, and pull it out. I'm like, okay. So I get some rubbing alcohol and a lighter. I wash the knife in rubbing alcohol. I take the lighter, blah, 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 sterilize as much as I can, and I start going at my foot with it. The knife's too dull. Like, it's not even cutting my foot. It's not even scratching my foot.
You should have filmed this. Just OJ soaking his foot and stabbing himself for 20 minutes.
Actually, about 40.
That would have been like 1 million views.
I know. Well,
that would have been insane.
Needless to say, it didn't work. So I'm like freaking out. So I'm like, all right, wait a second. I have safety pins. So I go get a safety pin, do the same thing, put it under the lighter till it's sterilized, clean it with rubbing alcohol. Meanwhile, it's mint-flavored rubbing alcohol. It's the only stuff I could grab. And I'm like hopping around the house, trying not to step on my injured foot. So I just sit down, and I just start poking at my foot, like digging around, like, come on, come on. Finally, it doesn't bleed at all, but I get through the top layer of skin. And then I see it, except I don't have enough hands. I can hold it open with one hand, but then I can't grab it with the tweezers.
Yeah.
So I keep working at it for like 15
at that point,
minutes.
just cut the whole foot off.
Yeah, right? No, it's done. Forget
idea.
it. And finally, I'm just pushing enough on my foot. I grab it with the tweezers, and I get like this 5 to 8 millimeter long piece of wood that was just stuck in my foot. It went in at an angle, but then it angled itself in and started biting into my foot.
Did you keep the wood?
No, I'm like, F you, wood, and I threw it in the trash. Showed it to my friend and threw it in the trash. And I'm like,
Might some kind of like a tetanus shot or something.
I don't know. I thought you only needed tetanus shots for metal
I don't
stuff.
know. Just don't breathe on me next time I see you or something. You might
Thanks.
affect me.
It took me like 40 minutes. I'm like, okay, I washed my foot, Neosporin, Band-Aid, then I went to bed. Good story.
All right.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is if something hurts your foot, check on it.
Check your foot instead of playing Warhammer for 5 hours.
And if you are playing Warhammer for 5 hours, Wood Elves are jerks. Even if they're underpowered, they will shoot you.
What kind of talk is banned around these parts, sir?
Fine.
We're going to talk about something we're allowed to talk about now. Children's movies.
Children's movies?
Yes.
Oh, no, I think I know what's coming.
I went to the movies this week. I haven't been there in a very long time, mainly because I could buy 2 Blu-ray movies for the same price as 2 tickets to the movies. It was funny because I was buying the tickets and the guy at the counter is like, it's like, hey, for $12, you can get this membership that gives you discounts on popcorn.
Yay.
So, I understand that whole thing because, I was forced to sell, that kind of stuff to people at one point, right? So, I'm like, all right, let's have some fun with this. So, I'm like, no, I'm banned. They told me I'm not allowed to have that. So he's like confused. He's like, what do you mean? Who banned you? So I'm like, corporate. Said I was banned from the program. Said I couldn't have one. So then he realized I was joking. We all kind of laughed about it. That was pretty funny. But anyway, I saw the Lorax.
Yeah.
And the Lorax being my favorite of the Dr. Seuss books. It's a children's book with a very strong message behind it.
And a positive message, too.
So maybe perhaps it actually is not a children's book at all. Did you ever think of that?
It wouldn't surprise me. A lot of things that are written for children have important things to teach adults as well.
Right. You've read it, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
I think everyone should check it out at some point. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Also kind of really captures that time period when it came out, too, when people were first starting to realize like things about pollution and the ozone and all that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a big, really big Danny DeVito fan, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go see this movie, right? And the first thing I want to say is if you're going to make the Dr. Seuss books into movies, it was a much better decision to go with the animation style than the live action route, which they did before. If you ever saw Cat in the Hat and The Grinch, then you might agree with me.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you if I'd seen them.
Yeah, they're bizarre. The Grinch, they gave everyone like these prosthetic ears and noses that are just revolting.
Gross.
And the movies aren't very good. But the theater I went to was filled with kids, right? Which is cool because it's always interesting to me to see what different people are into and find funny. That's kind of something like I try to keep tabs on,
Yeah.
Kids are people, right? Can I call kids people?
Kids are definitely people.
They're kind of like people, not really, but...
Oh, man.
And by the way, I was with my lady. So it wasn't like a weird thing or anything. Like I wasn't alone in the theater with all these kids, so don't get things twisted like that. Okay?
I'm surprised that like if it had been two dudes there, you would have probably gotten so many dirty looks.
And rightfully so.
What? Two dudes can't go see a kids
if there
movie?
was two dudes playing Warhammer for 5 hours during the movie, you'd probably get some bad looks, and rightfully so. So, so during the actual movie, the kids didn't really laugh that much.
Really?
Right, and they laughed their little asses off during the previews, though. So they showed like the new Madagascar and Ice Age, and they were going nuts. They were loving it. They were jumping around, laughing. But during the movie, they didn't really get into it that much. No, I didn't really either. I thought the movie was decent. What they tried to do is have two stories like intertwined together.
Oh, that's simple enough for kids to get.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I think that was part of the problem. So you had the story of the kid living in current society, which really wasn't very interesting. Then you had the flashbacks of the Onceler and how he telling the story of how he destroyed the forest, and they went back to him. And he destroyed the forest and polluted the water and killed all the animals in order to make hats.
For the cats.
That was the story. To make hats. It's a nice kid's story, right?
Yes.
But in his defense, at least he didn't outsource the jobs to another country. He made the product right here at home, you know. He went about it the wrong way, but he did bolster the local economy for a while. So he should be commended for that part of the business strategy, I think.
Oh my gosh.
But it didn't, like, the structure of it really hurt the story. Because the kid, like, you see the kid's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he'd go to the Onceler. The Onceler would tell him part of the story. Then he would leave. Then he would go back to his, and then he would do stuff at home. Then he would go back and he would tell him another part of the story. It's like, why didn't you just tell him the whole thing at once? And each time he had to, like, sneak out. They lived in, like, almost like the Truman Show in a way. Like, they lived in, like, this bubble that was, like, you know, all plastic. A plastic society. And he would have to figure out, each time he had to figure out a way to sneak past the guards and get out. So, like, why didn't you just tell him the whole thing? I don't know. Well, the highlights being there was this really good musical number at the end, which was actually really good and pretty touching, actually. And it also had the voice of the great Ed Helms in there, who you may know from he's in The Office.
Yeah.
And several things. So the book is much more powerful. I think you could save your $50 or whatever it is to go see the movies, and check out the book instead. And there's actually a lot of movies in that genre that, if you haven't seen, you should check out instead of this. Despicable Me is real. I think that was great. You see that?
No, not yet.
I really like some of these movies, but that one is great. I would recommend that one.
Did you see Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
No.
It was okay. I thought it was going to be terrible, but it actually was okay.
And
it also had Bruce Campbell.
You see Wall-E?
Actually, not yet.
That's a great one, and that's got a really good message to it also. It's kind of like a similar message in a lot of ways, where basically humans destroyed the Earth and had to leave and
then
live in a spaceship.
And then they used the characters from it to sell SUVs.
Well, that's just part of the business, man.
The Lorax being used to sell SUVs is the most depressing thing.
I didn't even know about that. Is that true?
Yes.
My God.
You can Google it. It happened.
So what are your thoughts on the Seuss books being turned into movies? I know you have some strong opinions about this.
Well, it's tough. I mean, first of all, How the Grinch Stole Christmas was already a movie.
It was a better movie.
Much better movie. Honestly, part of me's like, yay, childhood memories. And part of me's like, they're just going to mess it up.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen any of the Seuss ones that have been made into movies, except for, you know, the old Grinch one and the old Seuss movies from when I was, you know, that were made probably before I was born. I haven't seen
I don't think they really lend themselves to movies because they're basically... they're basically written like there's a narrator telling a story and he shows pictures.
And you don't really get the wordplay very well. The clever word games he's playing.
Oh, that's like totally lost.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have like a narrator talking about it every 5 seconds.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't expect much going in. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of the kids got the message about, you know, pollution and things like that.
Burn all the trees.
Well, maybe Dr. Seuss's family got some money out of it, and I guess they deserve that, so.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people that don't deserve money got money too, but, you know.
Think?
Like the SUV makers.
Well, they spent...
Is that really true? I don't believe that.
I'm pretty much sure, but Here, I'll do a quick Google right now,
Really quick search.
live, to see whether, in fact, the
I better be
Lorax
true.
SUV commercial. Oh my gosh, the Lorax SUV commercial on commercialsihate.com.
All right, that's awful.
It's for the Mazda CX-5.
My God. Well, this kind of changes my entire view on this whole thing. Maybe they shouldn't be making these movies anymore.
Okay. Yeah, so they end up... They're talking about how great the fuel efficiency of the car is, and it's driving through the Lorax's world.
Right.
Trying to display it as this wonderful, wonderful
Here's
car.
the thing, though. It's like, would Seuss want these movies to be made?
I don't know.
For instance, like, Alan Moore did not want the Watchmen movie to be made. And then it came out and it wasn't that good.
Oh, he was super happy with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
So happy that he's like, we don't need to make any more of my stuff into movies after this because, it's perfect.
All right, well, that's my spiel on the Lorax. Don't go see it.
Really?
You didn't like it? No, like I just said, it wasn't really. It's not worth your $100 or whatever it is to go to the movies.
See it when it comes out.
Yeah. So OJ, let us now enter the wild and wacky world of comments, sir. Actually, hold on one second. One second. There's something important we got to talk about. Next week on the show. This is next week. You will be joined by. You don't even know about this. You're finding out for the first time about this. We will be joined by a group called LSD Raw. LSD standing for, in this case, love, sex, and dating. So those are the topics that they specialize in, okay?
Okay.
They're going to come in. We're going to talk about these topics with them. What I want from the Ramborgia is I'd like to give us many, many questions regarding love, sex, and dating. So supply us with things you want to know about, maybe how you should act in a certain scenario on a date or something like that. Anything, you want. What I will then do is ask them these questions that you provided us next week.
And a few questions of your own disguised as coming from a Ramborgia member.
My own questions?
Yeah, you're just going to say, this is from Billy Bob 135.
I have no questions. I have only answers. So please post your questions in the comment section on this video. Or if you want to, give us a private question and protect your identity, maybe there's some kind of crazy thing going on you want to talk about, you can send your question to stayballsy@gmail.com, and I will not give out your name if that's what you want to do when we ask the question. So, I know OJ's going to have a lot of questions.
Shh, don't tell them.
All right, so that's next week. Give us comments, give us questions for those guys. That'll be really fun. I think it's going to be a pretty fun episode. Let us hit the comments for this week, OJ.
All right. The first comment comes from OJ. Wow, it looks like John really likes to put surprises for OJ in the show and see what his reaction is when he says something OJ's never heard before. That's wacky.
That was the worst comment ever.
I know, right? That guy must be an idiot.
Terrible.
Okay. So the first comment comes from...
You can't say this?
I know he can't possibly mean what it looks like it says it means.
All right, don't say the name because I'll say it in a minute. Just read the comment.
Right. John and OJ, I just recently adopted a dog that was thrown away in the garbage by its previous owner. We're very happy and excited that we can now give this dog a safe and loving home. And now, out of respect to yourself and OJ and the Ramborgia, we are naming him Rambo Harrington. Have a great day, John, OJ, and Ramborgia. So
Harrington, of course, is your actual real last name.
Yes.
So this guy's proving his great fandom that he's been following. He knows that. Pretty crazy.
Very impressive.
That's awesome. It's basically like we have a kid now. You and I.
We must treat him with care and kindness.
We have a child together. What do you think about this?
We must direct our love at this poor little puppy.
That's probably one of the greatest honors you've heard of.
Wow.
Naming a pet after us. It's pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, we do act, like dogs. We leave messes all over the floor. We shed.
Yeah, pretty much.
We eat all your food.
Kind of like animals, yeah.
So it's truly a great and wonderful honor. I don't know what to say, except thank you.
It's really awesome. And he actually provided me with pictures, which will be on the show. So you should be looking at them right now, actually. I'll try to put them in the right spot. And she's a beautiful, beautiful dog. Very lovely.
And who did this, John?
All right, hold on a second. This is what happened, right? So this gentleman, his name is Roast Beef Pussy Lips. Okay? So this is what happened. he posted this very early on, like when the show was up. So I responded to it, and I was like, oh, it's really cool. Let me respond to this. So I said, please send us pictures, right?
Yeah.
So for like a day or two, it had his initial comment. And then right underneath it, this is the top comments thing on YouTube. So it had his thing, and then right underneath it was my response.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the top comments works, I think it goes by like per day or something, and then like refreshes.
Huh.
But it keeps the person who like owns the channel, their comment will always stay up top.
Oh no!
You know what I'm saying? So if you were going to the channel, it took his down from the top comments, but mine was still there. So it said, "At roast beef pussy lips, please send us pics." And then JohnRamboPresents. So people were like, "What the hell does this mean?" They were going to the page and like, what? That's all they saw. So that was pretty funny.
Wow, that was almost
They're like
a nightmare.
They're like, "At roast beef pussy lips, please send us pics." And that's all people saw as the top comment, with no explanation, unless you went through all the comments and saw what it's from. Yeah. So that was pretty funny.
Crisis averted.
Let's continue here.
This one's from Slip Comedy HD. YouTube died on me halfway through the episode. Ramborgia, we must band together and create our own video hosting site. One superior, not hard, I know, to this YouTube. Make it happen, my ballsy friends.
Yeah, a few people actually told me that, I guess on Friday, which is when most people check out the show on YouTube, that it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. On Friday for like an extended period of time last Friday. So I'd say this, make sure you download the show in MP3 form from geekfiregifts.com/the show, because you can listen to it offline or on any device.
Yep.
If you do that, right?
Yep. Right-click, save as. You got it.
Yeah. And there's instructions how to do it on there, because people are having trouble. But there's instructions on there now. So if you download the MP3 for free, then you have no problem. But regarding making our own service, our own video service, I will just say this. Something ballsy is coming.
Dun, dun, dun.
StayBallsy.com. All right, let us continue.
That sounded like a perfume ad. Something ballsy is coming. StayBallsy.com. Anyway.
Whoa! What are you saying there? All right, let's
I
continue.
said what you said.
I didn't hear anything. Let's keep going.
Okay. So this one comes from PlayRam1.
Yeah.
John, listening to your show is the only thing I look forward to every week. Every day I'm always sad at school because I have to deal with racism and loneliness. When I watch your show, I always get that amazing sense of ballsiness and pulpfulness that puts a smile on my face. Thank you, John and OJ. And as always, stay ballsy, my friends.
This one really hits home for me in a lot of ways. I've talked a little bit about this here and there before, but I went to high school with a bunch of idiots.
To say the least.
I only had a couple friends through my entire tenure in high school, OJ being one of them. And believe it or not, even though I am a white guy of Italian/Sicilian descent, I often faced racism because these people were so ignorant and inbred that many times they would look at me and think I was Jewish. This happened several times. And I guess in that wealthy white community, there's something wrong with that, because there was often times where people threw really intelligent insults at me, right?
Oh, yes.
And wanted to physically assault me. And a few times they actually did do it.
What?
Oh, yeah.
You never told me that.
Oh, I can talk about this stuff all day. It's not the time or place right now.
Okay.
For that. But you have to remember, it's not your fault that people act like this. You didn't do anything yourself to deserve it. Here's the thing with school. Like, you're surrounded by immature, uneducated humans at school. Okay? Think about it this way. People are sent to school because they're considered uneducated, and they're being sent there to learn, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
So then some of the kids get involved in drugs, or they get pregnant, or get in fights, or whatever, and then everyone goes, how could this happen? Well, you're sending people to a building every day filled with uneducated people. Right?
Yeah.
That might happen. These things might happen. If you're saying these are uneducated people, let's put them all in one building, bad stuff just might happen. And on top of that, some of the educators, which would be the parents and the teachers, are sometimes worse than the kids are. So there's a lot of problems there.
Yeah.
And like I said, I can get into this. I can go all night about this stuff, but in any case, when you're going through awful times, which sounds like Playram is, which is real awful that he's going, he doesn't deserve that, you know. You have to find positive things to keep you going. You have to look for the light poking through the darkness. And if the show could be one of those things for you, then that absolutely means quite a lot to us, you know.
Yeah.
So, my friends, stay ballsy. Just make sure this experience doesn't crush you or turn you bitter. You know, learn from it. If anything, those people are an example of what not to become, what not to be. You know?
Yes.
Don't become what they are. Go the opposite way. Become strong, become successful, and look back at how pathetic all those people were and feel even better that you overcame the situation. So,
there's a bunch.
Stay in touch.
Yeah.
Stay in touch, my friend. If there's anything we can however help you with, please contact us.
Let us know.
Contact us again. Yes. All right, OJ.
Okay. So the next one is not something I can pronounce by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it's a little mean that you just kind of left us sitting here. I got to try and pronounce everything we get, right?
Get Google Translate open.
Shh, I'm already doing that. Don't tell people.
All right. Last week we asked for, or we didn't ask for. We said you can write comments in any language you would like. So there's a couple in different languages. OJ's having a conniption fit about this apparently.
Okay, so let's try this. Okay. Wow, that's hard to pronounce. John Musaeus.
Just translate it.
What? Just translate it?
Yeah.
Okay. John, you're the best. Just on, greetings from Prague. Oh, cheers. I'm sorry. Oh, it's translated right there.
Yeah.
So
read the whole thing.
John, you're the best. Cheers. Greetings from Prague. Hope you're going to translate this and read it in the next show. Cheers from Prague. Prague? Czech Republic. Europe. By the way, you guys are welcome to come visit.
I would love to go. Did you ever go there?
No, I have not been there.
I would love to go. We're going to have to do that.
That would be a lot of fun, man.
Thank you for your comment, sir. Appreciate that.
Sorry for butchering the first few words of your comment there.
This one's translated already.
Yeah. And since I don't have to bother trying to, what's the word?
All right, so this one's in Russian text, which is awesome looking. Look at that.
Wow, and it actually translates perfectly in Google Translate.
That was badass right there.
All right, shall I go?
Yes.
This is from Drobach. Hi, I'm from Russia, and I really want to thank you for what you're doing. I love your show. It entertains me when I'm bored and also helps to learn English.
Thank you, sir. That's really incredible that there is a Russian fellow that is listening.
Yeah. All the way on the other side of the world.
That's a far away. It's a good amount of distance.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Russia as well.
Oh, one of my friends studied abroad there. He loved it.
Really? That's cool.
Oh my gosh, did he love it?
I'd love to go.
Yeah, I think it's a country. There's so much history and culture there, and
yeah,
and it's also huge.
I would love to go and meet the lovely Russian people.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
I know you have one more comment.
Yeah,
right?
one more comment here that I can actually read.
All right, why don't you describe what it is?
It's comment that's actually in Japanese, and somehow I lost the name of the person who did it. Here's the name. My gosh, I'm just falling apart here.
I'm having a lot of problems. What's going on here?
I don't know, man. I was up late the other night getting this thing out of my foot.
Yeah.
So, all right, this one's from Porongota Insane, and Porongota Insane says, これは世界で最高のショーです。This is the best show in the world.
Were you able to translate that on your own?
Everything except I forgot how to pronounce cycle. So
you know how to read Japanese text?
Some of it.
How did you? Explain to everyone how did you do this? Your studies.
When I was in college, I was a double major in computer science and Japanese, basically going for the nerd combo. And yeah, I took 4 years of Japanese and spent 3 months studying abroad there as well.
And you came with me for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, and I went back with John for 2 weeks. A year ago?
You were my manager in Japan. When I toured Japan, you were my manager.
Yeah, it was pretty good until I forgot the word for scissors.
Why did you have to say scissors?
When we were going into Togeki, they were asking us questions at the security checkpoint, and they're like, "Hasami amoteru ka?" I'm like, "Do I have what? What the heck is hasami?" And some guy walks over and says, "Do you have scissors?" I'm like, "Yeah, hasami amotemasen." No, we don't have scissors.
They want to know if you had scissors, like you're gonna stab people.
Yeah, he wanted to know if we had knives or scissors or anything.
Well, did you or
no, man?
Oh, all right,
scissors obviously didn't make the cut.
All right, so unfortunately, because of time constraints, that's all we can do for comments today. We're gonna have to do a mailbag soon because there's a lot of great comments that we have not gotten to. Now, please keep leaving them. Like, we haven't gotten to them. I do save all of them, and we will get to them eventually. It might take us a long time. We will get. Like, I have all of them, so I apologize if we haven't been doing a lot on the show.
There's a couple that I want to go back and do that have just been sitting there for a while.
Well, this is what we'll do. OJ's mailbag. You pick the questions. I usually pick them.
Oh my gosh!
If you want to do it, that's fine.
Just go back through all the comments and pick stuff.
I have I can send you my archives if you want to go through them.
Well, if it differentiates between ones that we haven't seen yet and ones that we have, that's great.
It's very organized.
Wow, dude, you are a wizard.
I certainly am. So let's begin our discussion. Schnoz-man HolePunch episode 2. I first want to thank everyone that checked it out. We got a really great response.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We got like 200 comments in the first day?
I don't know exactly. I didn't check the numbers, but
we got at least 100 comments the first day. We're at 217 right now, and it was added 3 days ago.
Very cool. So, if you do enjoy the series, we only ask that you please spread it like a disease. Pass the link along to some friends. Pass it to some enemies. Why not, right?
Distract
them. Maybe it'll distract them, and you can take advantage of them, or maybe it'll change their minds about you, and you'll be friends again.
Yay, that's even better.
Do whatever you want. You post it. If you belong to forums, please post it, and that really helps us out and is much appreciated. So, I must say I'm very proud of the episodes so far. I'm not saying that because I think it's like the best written or the best looking series ever or anything like that. I'm proud of it because we create something that people enjoy without really knowing what we're doing.
Yeah, this is basically... I mean, this is our first attempt at something like this for both of us.
I was never trained to do any of this stuff, and if you think about it, there's so many components to it. There's the writing, acting, the camera work,
the editing.
And we're just kind of making it happen through sheer will.
It's just a strength of personality we're getting this to happen.
And learning as we go as well.
Yes.
So, it has been a challenge. It's definitely still far from perfect. But the idea is to hopefully improve every time out of the gate. I think we're getting there.
If we improve every time out of the gate, that means that people will have to start watching at the worst episode.
It'll be one good episode in the end. The last one. So here's the plan right now for the series. A lot of people have been asking. Keep in mind things can change. But the plan right now is I want to put out one more episode in March. And then one in April. And that will bring us to 4 episodes. And that's kind of going to be like the halfway point of the season, I guess. Then we're going to take a hiatus and reassess everything. Re-energize and come back with 4 more episodes at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Not too far after. I don't know exactly. And that will be like the complete season. 8 episodes. And beyond that, I don't know. We'll have to see how things are developing and what happens. If people really want more after that or not. But that's the plan right now. So we're going to try another one in March, April, take a break, and then come back with 4 more. And then we'll see. So, are you on board with that?
I'm on board. I might say late March, early April for that 3rd episode.
Yeah, it's not going to be like next week or anything. It'll be way into March. Like if it is in March, it'll be the last couple of days of March.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
We got a lot of projects we're working on these weekends here.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. So let's now jump into episode 2. What I want you to do, I'm going to do too, is we should actually play the episodes, or play the second episode on mute, and then we'll kind of pause and just talk about stuff.
Okay. Let me go fetch it.
I will do the same thing.
Wait, did you send me the episode? That's a good question.
No, I didn't. You don't have it.
So I got to watch our own show on YouTube.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I gotta go. I gotta go load it, man.
Just go to my channel, man.
I got it open, man. Just hold on, dude. Whoa, there goes the music. Let me just cue it up here.
All right.
Because my internet sometimes flakes out. I'm going to have to watch it in 360p, mind you.
Well, that's what I'm doing anyway. But I'm going to start without you.
Oh, no. Just say when and I'll hit it.
I'm going right now.
Okay.
I'm going to keep pausing it. All right, so you start the episode. You see the city of Stamford, the city that works sign.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't really pick up on that, I don't think. That's our setting here. So Schnoz-man and HolePunch live in Stamford, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
That's where HolePunch resides. And all these locations are where we shoot everything there. Because that's where OJ lives.
Yes. Don't stalk me, please.
So how did Schnoz-man find his way to Stamford? We don't know. Where did he come from? We don't know this. We don't know any of this information. But HolePunch has been in this area, and he's been trying to fight crime from there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of crime in that city, so maybe that's part of his problem. I don't know. But anyway, as you see here, driving through Stamford, you see the logo created by Mark II Bit pops up. It's really pretty nice looking. And my personal favorite part of the episode, and it's always seemed kind of weird to people, this is the part that makes me laugh the most out of all of it.
Oh?
Is the first word that you say is evil, and the first thing you say is the Bank of America.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. At one of my jobs, we did a lot of blog searches on Bank of America, and people had a lot of nasty things to say.
Yeah. So that really cracks me up every time. It's the first thing you see. It's like evil, and then you see Bank of America. And we kind of talked about this in the first episode, but I like to put all these different chain restaurants and stores and things in there while you're talking about evil.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying that they're evil companies or anything like that, but it's just humorous to me. And I generally dislike a lot of these things because I feel like they've turned every city in America is the same now.
Yeah, you don't
it's the
have
same
that
it's
flavor.
like the same 7 companies that run everything. You know,
like
there's something evil about that in a way, right?
Yeah, you're kind of losing out on some stuff. Like,
right,
going
I'm
somewhere,
sure...
going to a home, like some towns, you stop into the general store or the restaurant or whatever. Instead,
I feel like variety is the spice of life, and there's no variety anymore. And you go wherever you go, it's the same stuff. And it's like, okay,
the Burgeritovilles of the world are becoming the minority,
and all this stuff isn't really good. That's also part of the issue.
Yeah.
So you got Burger King, you got your Dunkin', you got your banks, and those are pretty evil. So I put all those Wells Fargo, the Men's Warehouse. That's where OJ goes, gets all his clothing.
No.
You should walk into Men's Warehouse with the HolePunch suit. It just
that would be pretty funny.
We're gonna talk about that too when we get to the part where we're walking around in public and stuff like that. But all right, so now we have the first scene, and the first thing I want to say, the Schnoz-man mask is not comfortable at all in any way. It is awful.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
We had to modify it.
Yeah, it actually covered. Initially, it comes down and goes under your chin and is like a full mask that covers your entire face. But the problem is I wouldn't be able to speak well, and you wouldn't be able to see my beard. You have to see the beard. So we had to cut half the mask apart, and then I couldn't see from the eyes, so then I had to cut eyes out. And it just sucks. Like it as you talk, it moves, and it moves up as you move around, and it gets like you can't see anymore, and blocks your vision. It's pretty uncomfortable. So we may have to invest in a better mask or something like that.
Yeah, a little bit. It looked great. Then we tried it on.
I think it was like $10 or something.
It was like between $5 and $10. It
was like $5.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look into getting a better mask at some point. From a storyline perspective, let's talk about the storyline a little bit, because a lot of people kind of brought this up. So last time we saw these characters talk to each other, it wasn't nearly as hostile.
No.
There was a little more. It wasn't as intense, right?
No, not at all.
So people were kind of like, well, why were they not like that? And all of a sudden, in this episode, they're like this.
Arr.
What we tried to hammer home during this dialogue was that it's been a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a week with Schnoz-man living there, and if you live with Schnoz-man, who's a terrible human being, for a week, you're kind of start getting frustrated. So that's where you start to see the frustration building within HolePunch here.
He can barely take it at this point.
He's getting to that point. Like, it's been a week of him doing all kinds of, who knows what he's done all this during this time, right? The way that we filmed this was pretty interesting. We actually used 2 cameras.
Yep.
And we did all the acting in real time. I don't know if that's a real term. I'm just saying it. I don't know. So basically, like, you have 2 cameras set up, and then we went through the entire scene without stopping. And that's why if you look at the transitions between the 2 shots, like, they're perfectly in sync with our movements. And we could have done it like, here's a shot, you say that, and then we move the camera, and like, here's that shot. It doesn't really flow as well. So
it's also
I think it works really well. What do you think about that?
Well, it's also due to your masterful editing here. You kept the one audio track rolling and then synced it all up.
Yeah, it's not something that like I researched how to do or anything. I just kind of thought, like, let's try it with 2 cameras. So you get the close up and the wide shot, and then you just mix and match as we edit. So like. Now, I will agree the shots themselves aren't really the best looking or like well lit shots.
Yeah, we need to fix the lighting situation.
But we learned a new method of filming there.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 cameras. We might as well make use of them.
Right. Now, I have to call OJ out on this, though. I knew you knew it was coming.
Yes.
First of all, the shots themselves like don't look that great because it's hard to frame the shots when we're both on the camera and there's no one else in the room like to help us. That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
So I basically have you like stand where I'm going to stand, and then you stand where you're going to stand, and then I kind of like, all right, but still it's not an exact science that way, So anyway, we get it all set up, we go through the scene a bunch of times, and OJ is very particular about things, okay? Like, the door has to be locked a certain way in all the scenes because that's how HolePunch leaves the door.
Hey, you can't, if this is what somebody does, like, he's not just going to come in and leave the door unlocked. I mean, he's got this creepy dude in his house. He's going to want to make sure that he's got at least a little system going. He also seems a little obsessive compulsive to me anyway.
Does he or do you?
Can't it be both?
And like, you think about all these little details, like when HolePunch comes home, he has to put the keys in his pocket and stuff like that. And that kind of stuff drives me kind of a little crazy, but I understand where you're coming from with that. I don't fault you for it or anything like that.
HolePunch just unlocked the door. Where did the keys go? They don't just disappear.
But I don't think people care. Like, no one's going to check. I don't know. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it makes it more real to me.
So you focus on all this little stuff, but here's the problem. OJ forgot to turn the microphones on when we did this scene. So we did it like 4 times. And it's a long scene, too. So this is like probably like 45 minutes. Then we find out there's no audio recorded for any of this.
You walk over. I'm like, oh, can you check to make sure the microphone? Like, after we did it 4 times, I'm like, huh. He's like, yeah, that was good. I think this is good. I think we're good. I'm like, oh, well, and then suddenly I just get this sense of doom. Like, John,
because you visioned that on the show I'd be lambasting you, and this is what's happening now.
Yeah, I'm like, John, could you can you check that the microphone's on? You're like, what? Like, yeah.
Here's the thing: mistakes happen. I'm not gonna kill it because overall you did a great job. I'm not gonna attack you or anything like that
anymore.
Well, here's the thing: if you're gonna go out of your way to make sure that the lock is the perfect way, the HolePunch leaves the lock. Okay, you also have to make sure that the mics are turned on. I mean, that just goes hand in hand, Do you agree with that, or am I being a jerk?
They're 2 separate things. They're both details that should have attention paid to them.
But here's the thing: if you're thinking about when we're setting up the scene, if you're thinking like this has to be like this has to be like that, your first thought should be, is everything set up correctly? Like the way microphones and cameras go, not like should this be there or like that. That's just that's common sense to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll debate it off air, okay? Well, we finally got the scene done.
Yeah.
There's a pretty important piece in that actually had to cut out, sadly.
Yeah.
It's basically after Schnoz-man blows the goo on HolePunch.
Well, we could save it and use it elsewhere, dude. You don't have to say it now.
No, let's do it now. There's supposed to be a close-up of Schnoz-man where he says, "Your power's to suck," because HolePunch sucks with the plunger. Your power's to suck, well, mine's to blow. Go figure, because he blows his nose.
Yes.
And, like, that's why in the song, the lines are, HolePunch sucks while Schnoz-man blows. I don't think people really got that as well as, like, they would have if that line was in there.
Yeah.
But it just didn't, like, when I put it together, like, just didn't flow correctly with the scene.
Well,
like, it was too, I don't know, it didn't look right. Like, the close-up and then back to you.
yeah.
So I had to dump it.
And we can't. Well, and I don't know if we can use the line now that you've said it here.
I can do whatever I want.
I don't know.
So I mean,
man.
again, we're learning how to do stuff, And,
Yeah,
and what
I mean,
what works and what doesn't work. And I know now not to do close-up like that.
And I know to flick switches on microphones.
Like if it was a wide shot and you actually said part of the line and then I responded to it, like that would have worked a lot better,
We'll get it right for next time.
And I think the original idea for that whole scene was that you would see Schnoz-man coming around the corner. We filmed this stuff. Like he comes around the corner and you see him and he looks at HolePunch and he's like, oh, this guy, I'm gonna go mess with him. And then he comes over, but I'm like, man, it'd be funny if all of a sudden he's there. I think it worked. Did it work better, you think?
I think it worked pretty well, yes.
All right. You have anything else to say about that scene?
I had to clean that plunger so many times. I don't know if people got what I was supposed to be doing.
Cleaning the crap off the plunger.
Yeah, I'm basically I'm at the point where the plunger is almost completely clean, just doing some last final shining of it before I, attach the inner pieces and just finish putting it together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was hard because we didn't really get a great take of the dialogue. Really, it's okay, it's passable.
Yeah.
But I watched all of it. There's probably 6 takes, and there's parts where I'm doing really good, but you mess up a lot, and there's ones where you screw up, or the opposite.
So there's parts where I'm doing really good and you mess up, and then there's parts where you mess up. Wait.
Yeah. Well, there's parts where I screw up and you're doing really well. So I'm like, well, I can mix and match the pieces, but then it didn't really look right because I'm in the wrong position, or I'm doing something different with the cup. So I'm like, oh my god. So that was the best one I could come up with. I don't know.
You get what you get, man.
We get a little bit better with the acting stuff.
Can't agonize over it, and we're gonna get.
I'm having fun. I'm having fun doing the acting, and the mask definitely makes it difficult.
Yeah,
it's so uncomfortable.
I mean, there's not much you can do with that thing on your face.
Yeah. So the next scene is the montage, and for people asking, we'll be making a video, probably playing the song. Different but the same is the name of the song. I like to call it that.
Yeah.
And I'll probably explain to you how to play it as well. I would tell you now, but I can't even remember. I know it starts with G. That's all I can remember.
Lovely.
I did use a new method to record it, actually. It's kind of odd. I used my video camera, but I got right on top of the camera. I was sitting right on top of it, and I put the tripod as high as I possibly could, so I'd get more of my voice than the guitar,
Yeah. To get that
it's
bounce
a strange
better.
method, but I think it sounds a lot better.
It does.
And that's the best I can do right now, so I think it sounded pretty decent. And let's talk about this. Where are we here? Let me get to that point in the video.
I'm at the part where I just got to Sears.
All right, hold on a second. All right, so you see HolePunch. He walks out the door. He's got the goo on his face.
Yeah.
Basically got gooed. He ran right out. He didn't stop looking in the mirror or anything. He goes out and wipes some of it off, but he missed a little bit.
A little bit.
And that was the remainder of the episode.
Yep.
You weren't too happy about that.
Yeah, I can't believe you put that on your nose. It does burn a little bit when you put it on.
It's very odd. I don't know what that stuff is.
It's probably
it comes right off, though.
radioactive.
That's the thing I don't worry about too much, because it comes right off.
Yeah, about that.
So then we got Schnoz-man. He's looking at porn, and that was just something I came up with there. I was like, he's into crazy porn. Because if you're porn obsessed, there's a point where you go beyond normal stuff. And I've met people like this before. So he's into hot women and goats.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
You're not down with that.
I don't know, man.
You were do not hit enter on that computer.
Yeah, seriously. I don't want that in my search history.
I would have wanted to.
Ugh.
Then we have you at Sears. Is that the next part?
Yeah, which is hilarious because of its location.
All right, why don't you talk about that? I'll let you take it.
So, this Sears appliance showroom right here, If you pan the camera a little bit to the right, you're going to see the Stamford Police Station, or one of their police outposts. So this was very uncomfortable for me to film. I was freaking out the whole time. Plus, there was some lady walking her dog, so we couldn't even get over there because she was just standing in front of the appliance showroom. Like, the second we get out of the car and we're ready to go, there's this lady walking her dog right there.
Yeah, this wasn't like, late at night or anything. This was middle of the day on a Sunday. And first I want to say, like, these montages are a minute long, and people must think it's easy to do and whatever. This probably took hours to make.
Like, it took almost all day to do the montage.
Yeah, because we had to drive. We drove around looking for locations. Okay, then we figured out where like our locations. Then we go back to the house. You put all your gear on, and we drive to the location and jump out and there's people. This is middle of the day on a Sunday. This is like a big shopping center.
Yeah,
there's people all over on the other side of the camera. Like you said, there's people all over the place looking like, what the hell's going on? And you got a lot of guts for doing that, And the scene's basically like, I don't know if people picked up on it, but this is the appliance showroom. There's appliance thieves. So he's looking for clues. This place was robbed, I guess, by the appliance thief. So he's writing down notes.
Hence the notebook and the pen.
What was it like going out in public with the suit? Do you care at all?
I mean, I felt a little weird going by the police station, but we didn't do anything illegal, so...
Well, that's debatable, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Going out in public, I mean, it's kind of fun, kind of weird, because, I mean, I'm used to doing this at conventions and stuff. And I'll admit, I've walked through the streets of New York City between Grand Central Station and the Javits Center dressed as a Monarch henchman.
Right.
But, yeah, it was a little weird. My main concern was just not getting in trouble for something.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
That's why I was like, I think you should leave the plunger in the car because they might take that the wrong way, like some kind of bludgeoning object, or something. So.
Yeah. That was.
Speaking of that, somebody sent me an email. I passed it to you. I know that someone was attacking plunger attack in Connecticut.
Horrible.
There was actually an incident where someone was attacked with a plunger, and I wish I had his name in front of me because I would say I apologize, but someone sent it over to me. I thought that was pretty crazy. So
yeah, someone's trying to frame me. It's very depressing.
So there's this scene where I'm drinking or eating cereal. Schnoz-man does not like the cereal. He flips the bowl.
Oh, this was amazing.
At which point you see the spoon bounce off the wall, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, you also broke the lining off of the bowl.
I broke the bowl, and the spoon, and like it's a terrible shot because I like kind of look at the camera, but we had to use it just because of the insane acrobatics of the spoon.
I mean, we continued throwing stuff on my floor for another couple takes, but the first one was the best. Yeah.
Even though I kind of broke character, but it was so good with the spoon.
Spoon!
Then we got OJ. I don't know if people understood what was going on here. He took notes at the appliance store, and now he's like on a trail. He's figured something out. He's walking by this church, and he finds a piece of cardboard. Mm-hmm. And he looks at it. He's like, oh, this might be something to do with the appliance theft. So he's continuing to walk. And here we go. This is the mountain.
My massive acrobatics skill.
This is interesting stuff. So earlier in the day, we had to get some supplies, and we'll talk about that. We had to get some magnums and some stuff.
Let me tell you, that was an awkward trip to CVS. Okay.
All right, when we get to that part, we'll talk about that. But we go to the shopping center, and we park in this garage, and we pull in, and like right across the street is this big rock wall. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, we could do something with that wall.
Yeah.
It was as easy as that. Simple as that. So then we came back later in the day. OJ gets out. And what was it like climbing this thing? It was pretty steep.
It was pretty steep, and I wasn't wearing my glasses. So you've got a blind man climbing a steep wall where the dirt skids out under your feet. It's like not even dirt. It feels like potting soil. It's
not really dirt because it's like a man-made wall, basically.
Yeah. So I'm stepping on it. There's rocks.
Yeah, it separates like the shopping center from like the, whatever's up there. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I nearly fell a couple times.
Well, we got that on camera.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I start going up the right side. I'm like, you know what? Let's go left. Or you shout at me, go left. So
I thought this was really cool because it really breaks up, because a lot of the scenes are in the house or like standing around. So this is like an action shot for the first time. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
And when you're at the top of this cliff, you could actually see into the next level of the garage, right?
Yeah, you could, and make it look at me.
And they were looking down at this man climbing in a mask, and they didn't see the camera.
No, they just...
Because I was on the bottom, so like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Yeah, there's like some little kid going like, "Mommy, a superhero!" Like, oh gosh.
This is your community that you live in. The people are going to become known as this masked maniac.
My neighbor, I was going by, I apologized to my neighbor. I'm like, yeah, sorry if we were loud earlier today. He's like, what were you doing? I'm like, we were filming. Oh, what are you filming? I'm like, a superhero show.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What were you doing? I wonder what he thought.
I don't know. He's a cool guy, though, so.
And then I remember, like, when you pose at the top of this cliff here.
Isn't that later?
It's like 2 seconds. Let's just talk about it now in one shot.
Yeah.
But we were in the car, and I'm like, okay, I have an idea. So I search on my phone for Jim Lee Batman. He drew this Batman, and look it up online if you don't know what I'm talking about. He's posing on like a gargoyle head, right?
Yeah.
On the side of a building, and he's doing this pose with his knee out. So I'm like, I want you to do that pose on this rock. And you kind of did it.
Well, you hold it up on your phone. I got to look at it.
And you're like, all right, yeah, I'm going to do that. And you went up there and you did it. It was pretty crazy. So.
Oh, it was great. I think we did it a couple of times with me moving the plunger into different locations.
Yeah, like a lot of my camera work sucked because I was moving around a lot. So I don't know. I was really happy with that stuff. It was really good.
I think all we needed was a breeze to blow the cape around.
And I'm glad that all worked out, because all we did was, like I said, we just basically pulled into this area and then, like, yeah, we'll use that area.
It was.
So then you got,
yeah,
Schnoz-man. I think what he's supposed to be doing here is like he went to the bathroom, but he just like made a mess everywhere.
Yeah, like it was supposed to look like he just went all over the floor and everything.
He basically like just pissed all over the place. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it was tough to do though, because we were just using water and not real urine or anything with food coloring in it.
Yeah, I don't think people really liked it.
Yeah,
because they don't really mention the scene. But
yeah, then I got the idea of just put toilet paper down.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
Then wet it, and you'll be able to see. But no one really cared.
Well, they're not all winners, and I don't know. We needed something else to put in the montage, so that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then you see, I think what Schnoz-man's doing here, like you see his progression, like HolePunch is looking for these clues and trying to figure out. Schnoz-man's doing his like normal routine. So he gets up, he eats his breakfast, he watches his porn, and now he's exercising. So he has this exercise ball.
Yeah, he's bored too.
He's bored. So he finds HolePunch's exercise ball, which he throws, and goes off the wall and into a shelving that almost broke.
Yeah, dude, I've had that shelf for 4 years, and it barely survives every time. But the most amazing thing was we had another take where you threw the ball and it bounced down the hallway.
Oh, yeah?
It was wonderful.
So I used the one where I almost broke your house. And your house is taking a beating.
Yeah, seriously. No wonder I got that effing splinter.
And now we got OJ, or HolePunch, running
to the fence.
And climbing the fence.
Yeah, we had.
Did you actually climb the fence?
Too.
You just say you did.
What? Hey, look at this next scene. It's amazing.
OJ jumps the fence. And then he gets to the other side of the fence, he finds the discarded boxes that the appliance thieves have left behind. And that was a good shot. I like that shot right there.
I think it was nice. The shadows are pretty cool.
We'll talk about shadows in a second.
Well, the opening shot shadows.
Your monologues are really good. I think you did that one at home like last week and you sent it over to me on Skype.
Yeah,
and
I did.
I plugged it in. And then you see Schnoz-man playing the Xbox, and it's terrible acting on my part, because who plays a game like that, just hitting buttons?
I wasn't sure if I should say something about that.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. It was bad, like just slamming buttons, but I don't know. It's
Maybe
okay.
That's how Schnoz-man plays games.
Well, it depends what kind of... You don't know what game he's playing. I mean, it's some kind of crazy puzzle game. You gotta use both sticks and smash buttons. I don't know.
What is it, Geometry Wars?
Possibly.
Yeah.
And then you see HolePunch. He is going through the boxes, and you see a shadow of the tripod and the camera.
No, it's an oil refinery rig.
Which no one actually pointed out, which is very nice of everybody.
Yeah.
But again, we're learning. I think originally, like, I was in the shadows.
Yeah.
Because I was behind the camera. Like, oh, I'm in the shadows. We're get out of here. And
we left the tripod.
We led the tribe. But here's the thing, like, what we had to do, we had to carry all these boxes. There's several boxes. We had to carry them all the way down the street to this big area where we filmed. And it was a big pain in the ass. And then we went home, we watched it, we saw the shots, we're like, well, we're not doing that again, so.
Yeah, we just like forget it. We also didn't bring out the special mic.
Which we probably should have.
Yes.
And
so it would have turned off anyway.
Right, and then you locate the crushed fortune cookie.
I don't know if that was obvious either.
What do you mean?
I don't know if people could tell it was a crushed fortune cookie.
Well, you said it was a fortune cookie, so they knew.
Yeah.
It was actually a real fortune cookie that we crushed.
It seems to be a repeating pattern for me.
And you were freaking out because you had like, at first you're like, oh, I'm putting that in my mouth. I'm like, you don't have to, dude. Just pretend you're doing it. And then even that, like, you didn't really want to do. You don't like putting it close to your face.
Well, I didn't.
Right?
I wanted it to look convincing. Well,
you had to do it, but you weren't happy with this.
Yeah.
You were not happy.
The show must go on.
I'm like, you got to do it, man.
I did it, man.
You did a good job.
I did it twice.
I think you did it several times.
Well, no, I mean, I did it then. I did it for another scene, too.
And there was actually one take of this where you don't see the shadow because I guess the sun had like gone down a little bit, but the wind was so heavy that you couldn't hear anything he was saying. So I was like, oh my god,
so depressing.
Yeah, we just got. But I think overall it's a nice looking shot. I don't know. You understand what's going on. That's like what that's what I always say. It doesn't have to look that pretty. As long as you can hear what people are saying and understand what they're saying, understand the story, that's the most important thing.
Yeah,
really.
that's what we're really going for. We want to be able to, we want this to really tell the story in a way that everyone can understand and enjoy.
Right.
We don't want to make it too complex that people don't get it, but we don't want to, just throw stuff at you.
So then we got stuff with Andre. I'm actually going to skip that because he's going to come on. We'll talk about that when he gets on with us.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And then we have HolePunch comes home. And this was actually pretty easy. We didn't really have any... The shot looks pretty horrible. Like the angle of it. But we didn't really have too many problems doing this. Right?
Oh, no.
And you got a nice close-up at the end.
Yeah.
Of it. And you got a powerhouse acting performance right there. Look at that. Solo shot. Just going off. He's getting upset with Schnoz-man at this point. Schnoz-man basically says, why do you even do this? What is the point of this?
Yeah.
And Schnoz-man's he's like a very bitter person, I guess. Perhaps we'll find out someday why that is. But he's kind of turned off to the whole hero thing, where HolePunch is very enthusiastic about it. And then we got you doing your monologue, which surprisingly really synced up well with your movements.
Well, I was trying to think, in the beginning, I'm just thinking about what you said and I'm sad about it. At first I'm mad and then I'm just kind of looking off and dreamily thinking about the past,
It's funny because we didn't even have the when we filmed that of you sitting there, we didn't even have the monologues written.
Well, not
and
written
somehow
all the way,
it all synced up really well for some reason.
Yeah, it's almost as if little details were being just kidding.
And I thought this picture of you with your parents, I thought that was hilarious. No one really said anything about that in the comments. But it's a picture that we found online from one of those picture studios, right?
Yeah, I still wasn't sure about using it, but it looked pretty funny.
But it's who has a picture like that? It's insane looking. The kid's smiling at two parents on either side. It's insane pictures. I'm we have to use that. It's obviously not OJ. It's a picture from some photo service out there.
I don't know, dude. Actually, when I was a little kid, I looked pretty funny, man.
I can imagine.
I had this short curly hair that was not all that far off.
I thought this was hilarious, and we made it black and white to add to it's an old picture.
Yeah.
And I like how it was just ready on your PC.
He
always looks at it.
Well, yeah. In my mind, it was he comes home from crime fighting and he looks at his parents to remind him why he does it.
Yeah. So I thought that was a funny picture. We then have Schnoz-man dumping everything on the floor because HolePunch basically told him, "I want all your stuff in one spot.
Yeah, destroying
your stuff's all over the place. Your bag, you have to move you have that bag there. Put all your stuff in one spot." So he's like, "All right, this is the spot I'm going to use right here on the floor. All my stuff's going right there." And then HolePunch, he somehow, we don't know why, but he's like, "I know where the villains are."
Oh, I know how he figures it out.
Well, we're not going to...
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say from what you could see. Well, what did he do in the scene? Do we not want to talk about that?
No, we're not going to get into it too deep.
Okay.
Keep watching. But he tastes it, and he reminds him of something, maybe his parents, something to do with his parents.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, so he goes, "Oh, I know where the villains are. He runs out. He doesn't even look where he's going. He's putting his mask on, his gloves. Falls all over the stuff. Let's talk about it. Magnum condoms. OJ had to buy them. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so going into a CVS, like, first of all, it's two dudes walk into a CVS, and one dude goes up to the counter with Magnum condoms. That's a little weird. Magnum condoms, a rubber duck, toothpaste, and,
Oh, yeah, that's just made it worse.
I needed toothpaste. We were there.
No, I'm not saying, like, the rubber duck.
Yeah.
Magnum condoms.
The only thing that could have made it worse would have been if we bought mineral oil.
And a female cashier.
Yeah.
She was impressed by you with the Magnums, I think.
I think you're just saying that.
I was watching the whole thing go down. I was like, all right, yeah, she's checking them out now.
Well, you know what? I'll go back. I'll go back to that CVS and see what happens.
And then we had a classic Playboy issue.
Yeah.
And I have a couple.
90s,
Classic. No, it's probably it was a while ago. I have a couple like classic issues that I hold on to from my teenage days. So it's probably around that point. I'm in no need of such things these days. So, and you see a rubber duck. You see what is that training? You see a training kit.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's it looks like it's a training kit for like picking locks or something because it's got a multi-tool on it.
Yeah,
that's for the test I had to take for my job the other.
So Schnoz-man has that, and he has an extra Schnoz shirt.
Yeah,
and I thought it was pretty good. I think the shot looks really funny.
Yeah,
you just laid there and I just kind of threw stuff on you.
And then I realized that I'd probably be groaning, so I started talking.
Yeah, it was great, man. And you got the blue stuff.
Yeah.
Then you have the devilish grin of Schnoz-man. So.
Oh yeah, we recorded a bunch of different grins, but I like the one you chose.
Yeah, well, that's like the problem, man. I'm up till 4 a.m. editing, and I'm looking at myself grinning. I'm like, what does my life come to here?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, you should go to sleep.
I just like to get it done when I have the chance.
I know.
And the only other thing to talk about of note is you see at the end where it says "they're going to" if your face. And episode 1, I had a spelling error because again I was doing the editing like the middle of the night, and it gets a little crazy. So I fixed the spelling error, THEY', and I made it red text so everyone knows. But here's the part that annoys me. All those people that gave me crap for saying, they all posted, you misspelled this, you misspelled that. Why don't they then go, you had perfect spelling this time. They were nowhere to be found. Right?
Yeah. It's kind of funny they just leave it off.
Right, so we're going to come right back with Andre from Respect the Pact. We're going to talk about Raposa. We're going to talk about Respect the Pact stuff, videos. We're going long tonight. Put the coffee on. This is the show.
Get some tea.
Woo! All right, welcome back to the show. Our guest this week can be found at youtube.com/RespectThePact. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Ladies and gentlemen, the man that slices the balls, Raposa himself. Welcome to the show, Andre.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for having me.
How's it going today, dude?
It's going good. It's going great, actually. Today was a good day, and now even better because I'm with on the show. So,
everyone always says they had a great day. Every time I ask people that, I always ask people if they had a good day. They always say yes. I want someone to be like, I had a terrible day today. I'm waiting for that to. I'm waiting for that to happen.
Well, maybe it's impossible for the day to be terrible when the show's waiting for you at the end of it.
Let's go with
correct.
That. Let's go with that. So,
sounds good.
Last time you were on the show was episode 17, way back at episode 17.
Wow.
So we did an interview about how you got started and all that kind of stuff. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely check it out, everybody. So I know a lot's happened in the world of Respect the Pact since then. Why don't you give us like an update on what's been going on since then?
Since the last time I was at the show here, let's see. We were involved with Project 7, the episode 2. We are now partnered up with Machinima. So we are Machinima partners and directors.
Congrats.
And, Thank you. We were very excited about that. And we did a little piece with Schnoz-man and HolePunch, so that was cool. The Justice Lease as Raposa, which was awesome. And now we're doing playthroughs, which is something new for us. And we are.
How's that going? You enjoying the playthroughs?
Yeah, man, it's really cool. There's a lot of interesting challenges because it's the first time that we're doing something like that. But there's technical challenges about it, and but I'm trying to have fun with it, and we're just trying different games, So I think people are enjoying it as well. So
we're having a good time. The people are having a good time. So
exactly.
What I find. So
yeah. So far so good. I think we've done one co-op and one playthrough, and we're just starting a second one now. So
you have some Call of Duty on there with Howard.
Yeah. We had a little night with Call of Duty with Howard, and Howard was extremely tired that night. Poor guy. I think he was up like 19 hours or something.
It's like every day for him.
Gosh.
He does it every day.
Oh, is it?
All the time he's doing stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think he had gotten up at like 3:30 or something in the morning. He told me, and it was like 11 or night or midnight, and we were still at it. So, but it was fun. So we had fun. It's all good. I think we captured that, and I think that's what's important. Capturing that the good time that you're having. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So when I first asked you to be in the Justice League, I think I texted you and I said, "Hey, I got this character. He's a cocky, arrogant jerk. I think of you as being in the part." So
very fitting.
So, what were your first thoughts when I approached you to do the part?
I was very excited because I had seen the first episode, and I saw it like 3 or 4 times, man, because I thought it was just hilarious. The different jokes that were in there. I was like, I was even texting people and like, "Oh, you got to watch this show."
Oh, really? I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, "This is hilarious." So I was showing some friends of mine, and everyone thought it was great. And so yeah, when I got that you texted me, I was like, "Yeah, definitely. That sounds awesome." Sounds like an interesting character because I think that the characters of Schnoz-man and HolePunch are they're funny, they're interesting characters, and I'm like, yeah, I think this would be something that I could sink my teeth into, and so I was very, very excited to get that text. So yeah.
So you guys made a behind the scenes video, which is up on your channel. Everyone should. Again, I'm telling everybody to look at all these things. I don't think they can do it all at once, but
right, yeah.
Definitely check that out. It's behind the scenes of Schnoz-man HolePunch. First time that there's been behind the scenes footage, and I'm wearing my director's glasses.
Yeah,
I like to wear.
Got a kick out of that. So.
I like to wear glasses when I direct. I feel like the actors respect me more. So
yeah, it's like how Doctor Who wears his smart specs to look smarter.
Oh wow,
sorry.
Insults by OJ.
That's not an insult.
So I kind of already explained this in that behind the scenes video, but when I was thinking about for this character, what this character should be, I was like, this character should be the opposite of HolePunch, and the opposite of HolePunch would be Zorro, because Zorro is very smooth and everything he does looks really good, and he always knows like the exact right thing to say, and he gets all the chicks and all that, and HolePunch is the opposite. So I just hear him getting mad over there. So Fox in Spanish is Zorro, and you speak Portuguese, which is a nice twist on it. So I'm like, all right, so Fox in Portuguese is Raposa, and I figured this all out with Google Translate, by the way.
Nice.
I'm not that smart, but so Raposa is like our twisted jerk version of Zorro, basically.
Yeah.
And I wrote the script, and I needed you to translate certain parts, so I kind of like highlighted certain parts I wanted you to translate. And then I even wrote like insert Portuguese insults in certain parts. So honestly, I don't even know like some of the stuff you said. I don't even know what it was. So can you give us like a translation of some of the things you actually said in the episode?
Yeah, it's funny because I was surprised that I looked at some of the comments, and I think someone actually translated every single thing I said in the comments section.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, someone came and just said, okay, he said, and he wrote it right too, so I don't know if he's Brazilian or anything.
Hey man, we got people all over the world, so we got agents all over, so.
Yeah, so let's see. I know that when you put insults, I think I called HolePunch scroto, which means scrotum.
Oh wow, that's great.
And if he's the guy who slices the balls,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get cut.
There's a connection there.
Not for long.
Yeah, not for long. I called them prostituta. I'm over here trying to remember the stuff there.
Yeah.
I called them a prostituta, which is a prostitute.
I think I actually wrote that in the when I wrote it, I wrote prostitute because I knew that one for some reason. Don't ask why, but that was one of the ones I actually knew how to translate.
Yeah. I also said you always get your holes arregaçado, which is wide open or screwed, like you said.
Oh man.
Yeah. So you get your holes, torn open.
Gosh.
Violently. I think that's what it means exactly.
Okay.
So let's see.
Good stuff.
I also said when I grabbed the evidence or the fortune cookie.
Yeah.
I said merda nojenta, which means filthy shit, basically.
Okay. What is this filthy shit that you have
into?
That's great, man. Can you give us like some of the luck? Can you give us like a design that slices the balls, maybe like a little taste of the Raposa? Yeah, just say the lines.
Yeah. It is me, Raposa, the one that slices the balls.
That's great. As soon as you put the suit on, it started like going through it a little bit. I was like, all right, he's gonna steal the show, absolutely. And I knew there was something special. Like I was like, I couldn't wait to get it on film. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, the idea was I really wanted to go like over the top,
Yeah.
Is you guys are sort of, you have your own like voice, but at the same time it's very I think it's very calm. You guys talk to each other very calmly, and has that thing. And I'm like you said, you wanted me to be the complete opposite of HolePunch. So I'm always almost yelling, or like not yelling, but the way I speak, it's just like overpowering and
he's just like this very arrogant guy. He's just like, I'm the best.
Extremely, yes.
Why are you even out here? I know you watched some stuff to get into the role. So like, what did you watch?
Yeah, I watched Puss in Boots, which I've never seen the actual cartoon or movie. I guess it's a movie. Mm-hmm. They consider it a movie. It's a 3D movie.
It's a spin-off movie.
Yeah, it's a spin-off from Shrek, right? So it's a little cat. But I knew that, like, Antonio Banderas did it, and he's got a very distinct voice, like that accent of his. And when I thought of, and I guess Puss in Boots is sort of a little Zorro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically Zorro also.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I need to watch this guy and see if I can get some of that accent down, and some of his mannerisms and that whole suave thing going. So I did check out Puss in Boots. I think that was my main source of.
I think it's funny that you were like, I'm not going to watch actually Zorro. I'll watch the cat version of Zorro.
That's true. I did not look up Zorro once. I don't know.
That's probably better because then you don't want to make it too similar.
Yeah.
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 That's
cool.
So, and I try to put some of my own spin on it as well, but hopefully it came out good. I mean, you said it came out good. I think people
are
enjoyed it. So yeah. So I'm happy, and I think the people that saw the behind the scenes really liked it as well. I was seeing some of the comments there, so it's a very interesting character. I really like it.
Oh, it's great. I think one of the best things about this whole thing for me, this whole experience, was like writing that scene where both you guys were interacting with each other, and then like watching you two like really bring it to life and really like make it happen, and it was very very cool for me. So that was great.
Shouting directions at us.
No, I don't like you guys are good, man. So
thank you.
That's too much.
Yeah, it's always good. I mean, you think you're doing one thing when you're acting, and then it's great when the directors say, okay, well, do it again, or do it like this, or do it like that, and you get a little insight on what you're doing.
Yeah, you can't see it unless you're watching it from the other side. So
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, that's why it's been so weird for us to do everything up till now with just the two of us, because like we don't see our scenes until after it's already filmed, and we can either take all the takes we've done and go watch them, and before we deconstruct the set and go move it somewhere else, or
it's just a very long process.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
very long. We watch every piece and they're like, all right, do it again. Okay, do this, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
The one scene in the behind the scenes video also you could see this happen. But it's funny because like we're talking about how we film. It's a little different than you guys because what we'll do is we'll just turn the cameras on, and we'll just keep running through the scenes without ever like stopping, right? So it was funny because you were supposed to run out from behind the dumpster.
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, we're rolling. You go behind the dumpster and you never come out.
Yeah, we're just like.
So I'm like, what the hell is he doing? I guess he's like really getting into the character. Like he's gonna take his time and like really like he's like coming. But and then Paul's like, you probably see action. I'm like, oh okay.
Yeah, just not used to that. That way of shooting, which is
all good. Well, we never do it. We just turn them on and then we just kind of like just keep going and going until.
Just do it. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's totally cool. Yeah, I just wasn't. I wasn't used to it.
So I'm
like, I don't want to come out because he hasn't said action yet, and I'll ruin the shot or whatever. It's just ingrained in my mind that I have to hear action. But I got it after a while.
It was really funny. So people really enjoy your acting. They really like your acting. Would you ever consider like pursuing acting on a more like professional level? Would you ever want to do that?
It's hard to say. I don't think so. I like these projects that we do because I guess we could put our own spin on it. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, yes, I really don't know. I haven't really thought of it that way. Like, I'd like to do this professionally.
Yeah, I think you could actually do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. It's something I enjoy. Like the things I'm doing, like I do for the channel and for these, for this series. I definitely enjoy myself. So I guess if it's the same kind of experience, yes,
It's the same kind of experience, plus you get paid. So
hey, if nothing else...
Maybe it would be very good.
Maybe that might be something you might be interested in. I don't know.
Now that you put it that way.
Right.
Yes.
If nothing else, you could just go for not too expensive, you could go see how much you enjoy, just take a quick community college course in acting, see if you find it that fun,
Yeah.
Worst case, you could do community theater, which, whatever. Whatever's fun for you, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I think that because I've seen plays and stuff like that, and I just think I'm not very good at memorizing, and I think you guys saw that,
That's the problem with me. I dislike memorizing things.
Yeah, I mean,
it's annoying.
I couldn't memorize a paragraph. The paragraph you gave me, I had to do hundreds of times, and
I listened hundreds of times. It's a couple times.
Well, your dedication shows, sir.
Thank you. But, and I see these people that do plays, and they basically have to memorize almost an hour or an hour and a half worth of dialogue. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if that would be a turnoff or it'd be not fun anymore for me. So,
there's people that are in Hollywood that can't do that. It's all. I guess it all depends on what you're doing, and
That's true. Yeah, I guess people that do movies and
I don't know if Schwarzenegger could go do a play and recite a half-hour monologue. I don't know. Maybe he could. I mean, Romeo, why for after Romeo? So further proof that you're a good actor. You're also the guy behind the door, and which was great. It shows that you did such a good job because people didn't even realize that was you until you released the behind-the-scenes thing. People didn't even know, which is pretty awesome. What was that role like? You didn't even know you were going to do that. I just threw that on you when you showed up.
John loves surprising people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you for that surprise. It was good. It was cool. I mean, it was good that you're like, I think I ran the line once through. You're like, oh, can you do it in a higher voice? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I just tried to totally sound like somebody totally different, So
you were having a great time doing it because what people don't know, you were behind the door and you had this big smile on your face while you were doing it.
Yeah.
And I would stare at you and with a straight face and you were just certified checks?
Yes. Enunciating every word and just
That was great.
Yeah. It was fun.
Who was that kid, man? In the behind the scenes, there's a kid on the stairs behind us. I didn't even know that was going on.
That's my neighbor's child.
I did not even realize a kid was there until I saw the footage.
I didn't know. I wasn't watching.
I was
That
actually
child,
running
that child is scarred for life.
Nah.
Yes.
I mean, well, there are a bunch of funny things happening, like, that we didn't even see. Like, I don't know if I don't remember if this was mentioned in the behind the scenes video, but that car that was looping around us while we were trying to film.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
There was
No,
this
that wasn't.
SUV. Just kept going in circles around the parking lot
Yeah,
we were
I eventually had to stop the guy and like be like, "What? Can you not drive around anymore?" He was like, "Okay," but it was really weird. I don't know what was going on.
We don't even know what he was there for.
Yeah, it was funny.
I don't know.
You're like, I'm gonna go talk to him, and I thought you were kidding. And I turn around, there you are, telling him.
I don't mess around, dude.
No, this is a
Clearly.
set. Can't you see this? What did you tell him?
No, I was polite. I was just like, "Hey, can you not drive behind us? We're shooting something right now." The guy was like, "Okay."
That's cool. At least he was cool about it.
Yeah, he was good about it. It was very odd. I think I don't know. He had trouble like opening the window to the car. At first, like he wasn't sure how to open the window. I think he stole the car and maybe was testing it out or something. I don't know.
He's laundering the car.
So, is there any plans of making Raposa a spin-off for your channel or something? Something else, maybe?
You know, we're actually considering that because he's such a cool character.
Right.
I don't know if I could write like you guys write. I think you're writing on.
I could work with you on something, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would definitely need help on that.
All right, we'll figure something out.
But that would be awesome. I think that'd be fun to do. You know,
If people want to see it, definitely let us know and maybe we can do something.
Okay, sounds good.
Sweet.
That'd be awesome.
But,
Definitely.
We still don't know. We'll Raposa return with Schnoz-man and HolePunch. We don't know. We'll find out eventually.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
you've
Sounds
seen
good.
both of the episodes that we did, and essentially I'm trying to do what you guys do.
Really?
You know, I even talked about this after the first episode where I saw what you guys were doing. We did Project 7, and I kind of like really soaked in what you guys were doing, and I tried to kind of take your lead and make something. So, what advice do you have for us in terms of improving the work and the camera and acting and all that stuff based on what you've seen us do? And you can say whatever you want. I don't care. You know.
I don't care either.
First of all, I think that I'm a big believer in what's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, you guys have a show that that people are really enjoying. You know, and so it's, if I was to say anything, you know, just some tips. But I think that you guys are doing a spectacular job because people are really enjoying it, and that's the bottom line. That's what you want people to do. You know, enjoy the show, whether it's shot, you know, with expensive equipment or non-expensive equipment, or with lighting or whatever. That doesn't really matter. What matters is the show that is a good show at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I feel like it's about the story, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely about the story, about the jokes, and I think you guys are hitting it on the head there, the nail on the head. So, I mean, technically, are you saying technically what can you improve on?
Yeah, it's whatever you got. What you think that maybe any advice you have or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anything that stood out as being terribly done.
No, I think everything is pretty good. If I would to give any advice, I would say, you know, there's things like white balance so that the scenes kind of match in lighting.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem.
You know, that sort of thing. But as far as like you guys got the sound pretty good.
When we remember to turn the
Sounds
mic
okay.
off.
I think we definitely need some kind of maybe like some kind of mic stand. Maybe down where we're sitting, maybe across the room. I think maybe that might help out. Mm-hmm. The stuff outside sounds better than the indoor stuff sometimes. It's kind of weird. It's very strange. I don't know.
There's also like filters you can use if you want a particular style, and that'll help with the mood. You know, someone is down, you could change the colors of that particular scene.
Right.
Post, that sort of thing. But you know, you could try different things like handheld stuff. I know you guys have everything on a tripod.
Yeah.
Handheld stuff sometimes gives a different, you know, it's just a different feeling when you see something that's handheld where the camera's actually moving. You know.
Did you see what I did with the first scene? We actually had 2 cameras going, and I kind of like went in between the 2 shots when I edited. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, which one? Which scene was that?
The very first scene where we're talking at the table. I actually did that with 2 cameras going at the same time, and like
Oh.
one was the close-up, and one was
Yeah.
the wide shot, and then I kind of,
Ah.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
I was getting fancy.
I don't think we ever used 2 cameras for, but I think that would can't afford 2 cameras. I think that's why.
Well, one of them was like a cheap camera, but it looked the same. I don't know what was going on there.
That's
It
another
looked
thing.
exactly
You
the
guys got a great camera. I mean, I was looking
Yeah.
at the footage.
Thanks to OJ.
I contributed something.
Yay! Yeah, you guys got good equipment. So,
Right.
but yeah, I would think I enjoy watching it. You know, nothing that you guys do is like, oh my god, you guys should have done this, or you know,
Yeah.
it's such a great story that I don't nitpick anything. I think it's great.
I definitely got some things I'd like to throw your way and see what you have to say, but we'll get to that another time.
Okay.
So what's coming up next for Respect the Pact? What's going on with you guys coming up next couple weeks or so?
We're going to continue to do more playthroughs. Okay. We're trying to find our little voice, in this world of playthroughs. That there's so many people out there doing it, but we just want to find our own little voice in it, and so there're going to be a lot more playthroughs. Trying to do that as much as possible. We also want to do more of a feature video. We haven't done that in a while, about 2.5 months, almost 3 months.
Wow.
But we've just been busy with so many things, so we do want to get to that at some point, because people really enjoy it. It's how we started, really, and we don't want to give that up. We just haven't had a chance to do it. So hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have another video out. And who knows, maybe a spin-off of Raposa, The Adventures of Raposa.
What was up with the clock video you guys made?
Ah, yes, the clock video. I totally forgotten about that, actually. That was a video we did for, it was like a challenge that another YouTube channel had that was starting up now. It's called Bamo, and it's basically a bunch of big YouTubers have their own series. One of the series is by Mr. Guitar Man, and he has a show called Sandbox. And so he puts a topic out there, and you make a video, and you send it in, and he picks 4 of... And so we were on the pilot episode, and they said time clock, and basically that's it, and they said run with it. Do something that's a minute and a half. We went over by 2 minutes. It was like 3.5 minutes, but we were still selected, which was great, and so it was showcased on that channel.
Yeah, I actually watched it today.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it today, actually, yeah.
Which was something totally different from what we do. We do a lot of the video game themed things, and this had nothing to do with video games, but it kind of went back to the stuff that we used to do, which is like, we used to do a lot of these contests and assignments for different brands and companies, and that was the thing back then. It was like they give you a topic or whatever, and you run with it. But this one was a really broad time clock, and you go anywhere. So it was an interesting challenge to tell something, do a little story, and make it interesting, and put a lot of special effects in it, and I think it came out pretty good. We had a very good response to that video. It brought in a lot of new people to the channel, so it was great. It was a great experience. So
Very cool. That's what it's all about. Where can we find you guys online? Just reiterate all the different places we can locate you.
yeah, you guys can locate us at. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/RespectThePact. You can like us on Facebook if Facebook is your thing at facebook.com/RespectThePact, and our channel, our main channel, that's where everything's happening, youtube.com/RespectThePact, and check it out. So a lot of interesting stuff. We're trying to change it up more than before. We used to just do videos, so now we're doing playthroughs, videos, hopefully some kind of a series like The Adventures of Raposa, and everything that we do, we're going to try to, we try to capture on camera so that people can kind of get to know us, So that's where we are. Hope you guys can visit us, pay us a visit.
Very cool. We're definitely going to have to get Paul in here someday
Yeah,
soon.
seriously.
Yeah, definitely.
Great to get his his perspective on stuff. And,
Yeah, he came and did a lot and helped us out a lot too. Like, got to give that guy some
Yeah, he
credit.
was
He's
messing
pretty
with
awesome.
the light, the exposure and stuff in the camera and helping us out, so it was great.
Yeah.
I was like, when you said, "Oh, let's do the, come do the Raposa thing," I'm like, "Oh, it'd be a great opportunity to do some behind the scenes and whatever."
Absolutely.
Because I think people enjoy that. I think people want to see what goes on behind the camera and so many things happen. We just see the edited versions, but
Right.
so we're like, oh, this is a good opportunity. Because I know it's only both of you guys, so it's tough to have behind the scenes stuff. So,
Yeah, we don't really have any. We have like just us messing up lines and like endless amounts of footage of that, but
that's
it's
another.
not the same thing, right?
Yeah. So cool.
All right, so I think that's going to do it for the show this week. Kind of a long show, packed with great content. I want to thank Andre for coming on.
Thank you.
Definitely subscribe to Respect the Pact if you have not done so.
Do it.
If you do not, we will find you and come for you. So that's going to do it. The show will return next week with another guest. So for HolePunch, for Raposa, this is John signing off. Thank you for listening to JohnRamboPresents, the best in free and optional entertainment. Good night, everybody.